Happy 30th, guys. I mean, it might be a little bit late, but still. I can't believe this game's been around for as long as it has with no signs of slowing down. I mean, except for, like, whatever the fuck this spell slinger shit is. But we'll ignore that. Currently sitting at 40 million players plus. Damn, with so many players and strategies, you're probably looking for some tips to win more games. We've all been there. Let me know if these tips helped. Much love. Before we officially get into it, if you're a casual player playing CEDH, this won't help much. These tips apply to players with the appropriate power level in their playgroups. 1. It's not as scary as it looks. There are some cards in Magic that are ridiculously powerful and demand to be removed when they hit the board, right? Not necessarily. Ask yourself, what answers do I have in hand if they play a threat? A counter spell? Target removal? Do I have multiple answers? How does my opponent even plan to kill me? And most important, does the card they're trying to play even do that? Let's set the scene. Let's say they've got a wicked token build that you're up against. Your board state's empty. Their board state is 2/2/2 tokens and a soul ring. They drop a doubling season. You have a counter spell. Do you counter it? Gut instinct would say, token deck, double tokens. That's insane. That's how they'll kill me. Get rid of it. But let's walk through the process. How are they gonna kill us? Tokens. How do tokens kill you? In numbers and swinging. Most importantly, is it a threat now? No. Doubling Season is one of the most powerful cards in Magic, don't get me wrong. But alone, it does nothing. It cannot kill you. Of course, there is some nuance to this. In some cases, that Doubling Season will kill you. There's also something to be said for using early game removal on mana ramp or engines if their deck's based around it. Also, keep in mind how many answers you actually have. If you've got 2 or 3 answers in your hand, then answering the Double Season is definitely worth it. Shit, if you have a board wipe in hand, then you just wait for him to flood the board and then wipe it. For every Doubling Season answered, an Avenger Zendikar wins a game. For every Avenger countered, a Doubling Season sits idle. Number 2, confidence. You have to remember that you are 50% of the game that you're in. No matter how you're playing, no matter how the deck's going, no matter the hand you drew, you are 50% of the odds of this other player winning. Think about this. When someone sees you thinking and getting frustrated, looking at your hand, tapping, groaning, untapping, and tapping your lands, it gives them a boost of confidence, a feeling that they are a better player or in a better spot at least. When you feel frustrated or behind, you can very easily misplay, mistaps, playing the wrong cards, and you can eventually end up losing a game. One of the best tips I can give is use a happy tone in your voice no matter what's happening. People in Magic love to see a reaction to big plays or a removal spell, but when you don't give it to them, 9 out of 10, they'll assume you have a recursion spell, you have more threats, you have answers, and they'll play more passively because of it, giving you more breathing room to think and hopefully get a lead back. Number 3, metagame. Talk to your opponents. I had recently met up with one of my old friends from a really old card shop I used to play at when I was like 13. And he was like 22 working at the card shop, so he's got a good 7-8 years on me. This guy's a CEDH player and a spike if you've ever seen one. He's talking about this crazy new Emery deck that he built and continues to show me the list. I hand him my deck, insisting that he take a look at it while I'm taking a look at his. He sets my deck on the table, not interested in looking at it at all. Looking through his list, I saw that he ran a ton of search an opponent's deck for a certain card and remove it from the game cards in hopes to combat another combo deck, I assume. I start talking about how I base my deck around food chain. He's not taking me seriously. Okay, we get into game, turns go past, and I'm actually doing very well against his deck, having drawn a lot of removal and answers. He drops a Memoricide on me and names Food Chain. I watch as he looks through my deck to find no Food Chain. No combo cards at all. I don't run combo. I don't even run Food Chain. Just a good old-fashioned blink deck. Ha! But subtle emotional cues and talking while you play can lead opponents into playing certain ways that they normally wouldn't. So there's something to be said about talking to your opponent. Number 4 is a quick and easy one. It has to do with deck building. Redundancy. Before we even get into redundancy, you need to ask yourself a question. How do I plan on winning with this deck? If you had to pick one card out of your deck to present how you win the game, what would that card be? Oh, Psychosis Crawler? Maybe your commander? Okay, now remove it from your deck. How are you going to win now? Running multiples of the effect that you need to win the game is a must if you want to win more games. A shocking amount of people lay out their decks expecting 10 to 15 effects that help win and find 4 to 5. Short but simple. And the last one, like the end of all the family-friendly movies you watched as a kid, is cheesy as hell. Number 5. Lose more. The more you lose, the more you see glaring issues with your list. When I make a new deck, I'll play 5 back-to-back games with a friend and immediately start seeing 5 to 20 cards that I'm like, why am I even running these? Slowly dialing in the list to be more efficient. The more time I spend with the deck, the more it feels like your deck and the better you'll play it. The reason I won FNMs when I was 12 years old is because when I was 10, I spent 2 years at the card shop getting my ass beat and learning how to play. If you enjoyed this video, go check out some of my other stuff and subscribe. Have a good one, guys, and go play some Magic.